Is it true? Is it true for all my right-wing nuts? And I say that affectionately. Craig Hewlett used to warn us, which is why I'm agnostic and been an agnostic politically for 20 years. He used to warn us back in 1995 about being too far right or too far left. In other words, don't be a wing nut, right wing or left wing nut. In other words, if you're going to get into politics, be a pragmatist. Focus on policy, not about feeling. But that being said, let's get into a little wing nut theory. Larry Elder preemptively concedes defeat, launches voter fraud site. I think they put the site on hold. Last I heard, they actually put the site on hold and froze it, so we can't go look at it. I would love to look at it. I was trying to find it. But anyway, this is actually reported from Sacramento Bee, and since I didn't want to go through the paywall, this is from, and I'll tell you where it's from later. I think this is from the Getty. I'm not sure. Anyhow, before the results of Tuesday's California gubernatorial recall election have even come in, top polling Republican candidate Larry Elder appeared to be already conceding defeat on Monday and preparing to blame his loss on baseless claims of widespread voter fraud. Where have we heard this before? As first reported by the Sacramento Bee, Elder's campaign launched a website calling for supporters to report incidents of fraud and sign a petition to investigate the election results. The site, which is paid for by the campaign, includes language that assumes Governor Gavin Newsom has already won. Though no results had yet been released and Elder is still campaigning, we implore you to join us in this fight as you are able, primarily by signing our petition demanding a special session of the California legislature to investigate and ameliorate the twisted results of this 2021 recall election of Governor Gavin Newsom, the site says. Additionally, the website states statistical analysis used to detect fraud in elections held in third world nations such as Russia, Venezuela, and Iran have detected fraud in California, resulting in Governor Gavin Newsom being reinstated as governor. Interesting. Oh, there it is. Stop fraud. Fascinating. Stop fraud and recall Governor Calvin. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I will show you that picture. So that is an example of a wingnut that is running and calling it fraud already. Now, California was not accused of fraud the first time. And so now this wingnut, we call Larry Elder, is actually using it, put up a website to talk about fraud before it even happens. Now, what he should have been actively doing is putting up the website before this, like a month before. The recall stuff has been out for like a month and a half. As he was campaigning, he should have put the website up before that and started canvassing people about election fraud, not before the election is actually done. Now, this is probably just a way to keep his name alive in the public square, because if he's run for governor, it's actually going to boost his presence and his visibility as far as the rest of the stuff that he does, which is radio, TV, appearances. I don't know. He might even do a radio show again. But this is a way for him to get back into the public eye. Now, I never took Larry Elder seriously because, I was part of the group that kind of ushered him out of Los Angeles in the first place, off the Los Angeles airwaves in the first place. So I've known about Larry Elder since the late 80s. So this is well over 30 years. And we know who this guy is. And he is a polarizing figure. He was then, he probably is now. He's probably mellowed a bit since he's almost 70. But for Larry Elder to even think about winning this would have been a long shot. Because I can tell you, if anybody peeks back into Larry Elder's history and you're a person of color, you're not going to like him very well. And his recent speech about slave owners need to be reimbursed for losing their slaves, which they actually were partially reimbursed for losing the slaves. Depending on if you weren't part of the rebel states, the Confederate states, then there's a possibility that you didn't get your money. But Larry Elder forget there was something called the Civil War, and losing sides do not get compensated during the Civil War. There are no reparations for the loss of slaves if you're from a Civil War state, from a Confederate state. They don't owe you anything. That's one. And I do believe there was partial compensation for slave owners during Reconstruction. I had to go back and look at that. But Larry Elder is full of stuff like that, and we would have gotten 4 years of Larry Elder saying stuff like that. One thing I give him credit for, since he was he's been in media for over 30 years, he's very good at talking. But with little or no experience as far as handling any kind of government, and walking into the largest state in the union, especially during a crisis, is not a recipe for success. I would not endorse it. It's number one. It's just on a pragmatic stance. But Larry Elder, number two, is not fit to be a governor or basically in any kind of political office, in my opinion. He just isn't. Now, most Republicans or Democrats, I really don't care. Depends on what their stance is and what their policy is. I really don't care. We've had Republican governors, and Republican governors, do okay. I mean, they're fine. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell which one was a Republican and which one was a Democrat if you actually look at California's policies. It really doesn't matter that much. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was a Republican governor, I can tell you because I actually know somebody that actually worked for Arnold. And Arnold, believe it or not, even though he was a Republican, Arnold was fairly liberal. In fact, Arnold was very liberal. Arnold Schwarzenegger was not a conservative Republican governor. He wasn't. And he didn't actually govern like that. He was actually very liberal. Hollywood liberal, as a matter of fact. So Larry Elder, who is supposedly an ultra-conservative, I hear his talking points, but I don't have any clue about how he would even administer policy. And to throw Larry Elder into this kind of crisis and to just say he does do what he's talking about, upset the balance of what California is. Larry Elder cannot do anything, at least to my knowledge, about the price of housing. Larry Elder is not a socialist. He's not going to use a socialist plan to bring down the cost of housing. He's not. He's not going to upset all those counties as far as taxes are concerned. He's not. He's not going to go up against Silicon Valley, where the biggest bulk of his money comes from. That would be a disaster for California. So much of what Larry Elder talks about is nonsense. Even if he's in office, he's not going to do it because he can't. But that's beside the point. That's why I didn't talk about Larry Elder, because I didn't think Larry Elder was a serious contender. Larry Elder was only the most famous name on a long list of people on a recall ballot. For the most part, he's a non-factor, in my opinion. Most of the people outside of California that don't know this, that have no clue who even this dude is, which I'm kind of surprised at. He's got a track record of being in the public eye for the last 35 years. So I don't know why people don't know who he is, or can't look him up, or can't look up any old speeches or talks. In fact, I actually played one of Larry Elder's old speech, because the Black Authority, Jason Black, actually talked about the speech. He said when he talked about his father. Most people should know who he is. But my thing is, you so-called right-wing nuts, and I don't even think you guys are right-wing nuts. I don't think you guys are right-wing. I think most of what we call the right-wing or conservatives in this space are fangirling. You're just emotionally liking something or liking a position without even thinking about the policy, because even I'm looking at my Biden comments of the post I just put up, and most of the arguments I see are emotional. It has nothing to do with politics or the understanding of politics, which I'm saddened at, but at least now you guys are interested. Because before in this space, really nobody was interested in politics. So at least we're starting the learning curve. So that's one thing I'm happy about. Because most of the times when I used to put up anything political or political article, it would go nowhere. Because like 99% of you guys weren't interested. But all of a sudden, Trump gets out of office and your guy or your boy is not in office, and now you guys feel some kind of way. So now every political post I put up gets some kind of traction. Do tell. And this one got traction for, I have no clue about why it was actually got this much attention. I really don't. I'm still confused. And most people that comment on Larry Elder really don't even know who he is, which also kind of surprises me. And people come to me about, how are you going to vote for Larry Elder? And anybody that knew me or knows me or even heard me talk about Larry Elder would automatically know, hell no, he would never vote for the guy. And it has nothing to do whether he's a Democrat or Republican. It's who Larry Elder is. And Larry Elder's history with the black people in Los Angeles and California. But that is a talk for another day. But Larry Elder resigning before the polls come in. Man, Larry Elder had no shot. And I would have been absolutely astounded if Larry Elder had won a recall. Astounded. Man, I would have fell off the floor, fell off my bed, fell off my stool if Larry Elder got elected. Then I would have got on my knees and actually looked to the heavens, because I know it'd be the second coming of Jesus, which it still might happen. The second coming, that is. Anyway, that's all I got for this one. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.